wish I could feel what it's like having to live inside my head. I've tasted it since I no, please, no. Please. No. No, no. No.
Welcome back as we continue Halloween
year.
Hope you enjoyed the Beetlejuices. They've done well for us. We do appreciate it. We're finally getting to Smile 2. And this is a film I was not looking forward to, because if you listen to our last podcast on Smile, we did not really enjoy it. It was missing quite a few things, but the real thing was it wasn't scary. It wasn't gross enough. It was boring, and there was way too many long, drawn-out moments. Yeah. Parker Finn, like I did with Robert Eggers. Well, Robert Eggers is still out until I see Nosferatu. I actually gave him a pass because of The Witch, so he's still waiting.
Apparently, I've heard that Robert Eggers is actually breaking himself, waiting on your sort of review on to give him a pass or not overall when Nosferatu comes out.
He called me.
Yeah.
He called me. The CitizenFrame hotline.
Yeah.
And he goes, man, this is Eggers. Is there any way I can get you a screening? I go, go fuck yourself.
Sorry, hold on a minute. CitizenFrame has a hotline?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Is that like for panicked movie fans, you know? Where's the latest episode? I can't live without another episode.
What were we talking about? Yeah, so Robert Eggers. Yeah, so we're still waiting. Verdict's out. Parker Finn, I said the same thing. I said exactly the same thing. I go, Smile. There's something there. This guy's creative. He's got some great shots. This guy will show up and do something wonderful. I said that on that podcast, even though I wasn't a fan of Smile. And I'll tell you what, they always talk about sequels, and some sequels are better than the original. The perfect example is The Godfather 2. A lot of people think Godfather 2 is a superior film than Godfather. I like them both, so I'm not really there to judge them. But I'll tell you what, if those kind of people are thinking Godfather 2 or The Godfather, this does it. Smile takes what did not work from the original Smile, and they fucking give it to you hard. And I'm not tooting our own. We're not going to toot our horn here. I don't do that. Trevor does all the time. But I wouldn't. But I will say now, everything we said on that podcast, what went wrong with Smile, he fixes in this one.
He's obviously a listener, you know.
He's like, guys, I know Smile's a hit. I know a lot of people are liking it. But what are those two fucking idiots? What do they think of it? I got to see what they think of it first.
Yeah. We were top of his list, and he was taking notes while listening to our podcast, no doubt, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every time I was watching this, because I watched both Smiles back to back, and then I watched Smile 2 like 3 times. So I can't get that song out of my head. You know that song, Smile, though your heart is aching.
Yes, yeah.
Smile, classic. Even though it's breaking.
Yeah.
It's a great song. You know who wrote that, right? Don't Google it.
No,
Charlie Chaplin.
Right. I didn't know that, to be honest. I know the song. And yes, that makes sense, actually. Yes, of course. Yeah.
In the movie Chaplin, Robert Downey played him.
Yeah.
Robert Downey sings a cover of it. It's actually, it almost reminds me of Imagine by John Lennon.
Yeah.
I think Smile's an underrated song.
No, it's not underrated. It's a classic.
I don't think it's underrated. I don't think a lot of people don't know. You didn't know who it was.
I know the song. It's a very well-known song.
You didn't know who it was.
I know, but you know, it wouldn't be my
genre even though
of music. That was just such a perfect rendition of it there too, Ciaran. You know, beautiful. What can I say?
Well, you're welcome.
You know, you're wasted.
Well, people have become a CitizenFrame hotline.
Just doing podcasts.
Chaplin.
You know,
the Chaplin family would be going, oh my God, it was like hearing my father sing again.
Yeah.
CitizenFrame hotline.
If he was drunk and about, you know, and screeching at a cat.
Chaplin's history. It would have put it past him.
Well, you know what I mean?
They all did back then.
Well, who am I to judge?
All right, we're back. with Smile too. Hey. Parker Finn is back, and yeah, so I'm curious what Parker Finn can do after Smile. I know he's working on a Possession remake film,
Right.
and he's not giving away the title, and he's not telling us what the remake is of.
Maybe it is the film Possession.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like The Entity. I know was supposed to be remade. That's a disturbing film.
I remember back in the day.
Yeah, Barbara Hershey. So I'm curious what he's up to next. All right. So, Smile. We've got, I will tell you right now, and it's going to suck and sting. During awards, I don't like awards anymore, any awards programs, because they're all fixed.
Never have, really.
They're all fixed and they all suck.
Yeah, I basically have absolutely no interest. And the Oscars, I've never liked the Oscars in that it's just like I basically a love-in with a load of like these super rich morons basically backslapping each other and sucking each other's dicks. You know, it's not for me.
Wow. Okay. Wow. I apologize for that rant. Do not call CitizenFrame hotline on that. Please don't.
Line. Do you remember that awful?
Though,
do you remember that?
If you need it, then would you? You gotta be. He's just. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with Trevor today. If you want to file a complaint, you can call us at 555-555.
976 evil.
5521.
We reference her.
That'd be funny if that number's real.
Yeah. Do you remember that film, actually?
It's a terrible film. Why are you bringing that fucking piece of shit up?
Well, you're giving a phone number, so I might as well, make an 80s video reference.
What's that Tommy Two-Tone song? Jenny, what's your number?
Oh, I don't know.
It's a song. 65300-209 6572. That the funny song. He actually sang that song, and it actually was the girl's number. She had to change her number because that's her real number.
That was nice of
the song.
Yeah. I'm gonna ring the CitizenFrame hotline and sing down the phone. I just called to say I love you.
Okay.
Did you think that was Stevie Wonder there? Was that good?
No. No, but I wish I was deaf and blind. That's where you're going.
Well, I think you are sometimes with your film reviews, but anyway, that's another argument.
Fuck off. My film reviews are fucking spot on. Back to Smile 2.
Okay, yes. To the point.
As I was fucking really interrupted of his massive rant and his hatred toward filmmaking. So, Naomi Scott, she was in Charlie's Angels, that terrible film. She was in Power Rangers. She's kind of an up-and-coming. She sings her own music in this, too. I know
she does. Plus, she wrote a lot of the songs as well.
So, anyways, as I was talking about awards, months coming up here, the BAFTAs, the Oscars, the Golden Globes, blah, blah, blah. This actress should be nominated for all of those.
I 100% agree.
She unbelievably steals this film. Every scene is gut-wrenching to watch.
She's incredible.
I have never felt so sorry for a fucking character. The last time I felt so sorry for a character was Father Karras from The Exorcist.
Yes.
This girl breaks my heart. And
she is superb.
Is an amazing performance.
I agree. Yeah, she totally, carries this and more. Not just with the acting, which is, she totally 100%, gives it her all and totally sells it. But also the fact, as we've just said, I think she comes from a musical background as well. But she also, you totally buy her as the pop star, the troubled pop star, the very troubled pop star. And yeah, apparently as we were saying, she wrote a lot of the songs here for the film and also obviously performs them as well. Brilliant. She's absolutely... I didn't know of her before this, but you know what? She is a 100% authentic talent.
Yeah, she's going to be up there with the talent up there. Like Mia Goth's pretty hot right now. So
she's a better actress than Mia Goth, and I like Mia Goth a lot.
Yeah, I mean, she's a scene stealer. Not a scene stealer, she's supposed to be, but we'll jump into it. And then you add Rosemary DeWitt, who plays the mom, who I really like. Small role, but effective role. This young kid,
Important
Lucas
role.
Gage, who plays Lewis. You've got Ray Nicholson, Jack's kid, playing Paul. And then you've got great characters, Gemma, Morris, Darius, Josh. And what I like about these characters, they're actually all there to support her. The mom, I kind of have a problem with.
Well,
but
yeah.
all the characters are likable, and you're on their side. Where Smile, you had the fiance who was kind of a dick. You had, you didn't have any likable characters.
Despite,
and the one character that they did bring back is in this one, and we're going to jump into it.
I like him.
Joel's back, the cop from the last of the first
I like
one.
him as a character and the actor as well. But I would say as well,
Kyle Gallner has done a lot of horror films. He's a fan.
Yeah. But yeah, the fact that this is set in the world of superstar popdom, and the fact that is a very alien world to like me and you, the fact that we become so invested in it and her as a character speaks volumes for the writing and the performances.
Well, I'm going to jump on that, and I'm going to say something. This is going to take a little while to get out, so please, Trevor, let me finish.
Go ahead.
You see how I said that? Please, Trevor, let me see how I did that. Was
begging
pretty
me
nice.
now? Yeah.
I was planting the seed to please just shut up.
Wow, you've changed your tone. That must have been the complaints to the hotline. Usually it's Trevor, would you shut the fuck up? Now it's please, mister.
This is going to be a long one, so bear with me. All right. I didn't like Smile for the reason I said, and I'll still back that up. However, the attack on the individuals, I see more clearly on what the director is doing. We'll go back to Rose, the original one, original Smile. You put a woman in peril. She's a shrink. She works for the mental ward or the health ward, whatever. And she has to deal with patients who are dealing with traumatic, their own mental illness or whatever. All of a sudden, she's seeing images, ghosts and dead people and grins and blah, blah. She brings this to her superiors. They think she's becoming what her patients are. So no one's really believing her. She's put in a situation where, what the fuck am I supposed to do? No one's believing me. Now you got a girl, rock star, diva, princess, thinks he's the world's greatest. ODs, drugs, drinking, cocaine. She starts seeing the stuff. She's clean now, a year later, and now she's starting to see these images, blah, 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 and losing it and losing the plot. Goes to the mother. First thing the mother says, are you using again? These women are both put in situations where no one's going to believe them. Yes, it's far-fetched what she wants to tell them, but no one's going to believe them because of the current circumstances or the circumstances they were once in. And that's why I'm gearing towards liking Smile a lot more. A good sequel should keep the original concept of the first one and then make it their own. This guy did that, but then upped the game. And it's so upped the game with the story of this girl. And you literally, like you just said, Trevor, you literally can live a life of a pop star because she's thrown in to this mix of getting this big concert ready. She has to do a charity event, autograph signing, and at the same time, she's got this demon in her head that's eating at her. And that's kind of what Smile was doing. So I can appreciate Smile more because of it. And because of that, I can watch both these films back to back and have a massive appreciation of both now.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. No, I would just to add on to that, this is multi-layered storytelling with Smile 2. There is all sorts of subtext here about addiction, self-harm, mental illness, and it is almost, it's near perfectly handled. So it is in terms of the writing and also the performance of Naomi Scott. This is bang on in terms of all of the sort of layers of the storytelling and stuff. And, also, the things where they're not believing her and, because of her dark past and not trusting her and all that thing. I also found that there was perhaps sort of allegories here to the pop industry, overall, in terms of people like Miley Cyrus, Britney Spears when she had her breakdowns, all that sort of thing. And, the whole stuff with Britney Spears' dad being her manager, then, like controlling her and stuff. You get this here with the mother here. So there is a lot going on here. But ultimately, what sells it through the writing and the performance by Naomi Scott is it's a human story, and that's not me being like a pretentious knob or whatever, but it's about the humanity of what this girl, despite her billions and her fame and everything, ultimately she is a deeply flawed person, and it's sold beautifully.
Well, I think, you're spot on, especially with the Miley Cyrus and the Britney Spears and the parents' management.
Yes.
I didn't catch that. It's a good shout. But as you watch the film a couple times, she's dealing with, but she's been a year sober. She has taken some Vicodin. We'll get to that scene, but she's dealing with it. But at the end of the day, and it's told in flashbacks brilliantly, is her whole thing is she's living with guilt.
Yes.
And that's 100%. The guilt of her boyfriend.
Yes. And I would say, and I'm sort of going to break character a little bit here, I'm not going to go into details, but as someone personally in recovery, this is completely nailed. So it is, and, hats off to them, for whatever research was done. This is done bang on, the guilt and the not being trusted, which is understandable, by the way, by people due to, past behavior and stuff. And they 100% nail this. On top of all that, we've got a really good horror story, lots of gore, and a really cool Lovecraftian monster, So, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It actually, and the monster was created by Alec Guinness. Alec Gillis.
I was wondering what I was going to ask you there. Alec Guinness. Yeah.
No, Alec Gillis, the guy who created, the guy who did all the aliens.
Yes. I think I might have read that somewhere.
All right. So, let's just jump into it. Obviously, we're going to give this a wonderful review. Now, as we go further, common sense here, spoiler filled. This movie will be certain. This podcast will certainly have it. So, but at this point, if you're already listening, fuck it. All right. So, I love the introduction. Having Joe back in here. All it is Joe sitting in the car. Yeah. Obviously, we know he has the demon because he witnesses Rose's death. Rose does have a cameo, and supposedly it's her in that CGI suit, whatever it is. It's kind of a great shot because we saw Rose demise through the pupil of Joel at the end of Smile. But this one, we get to see her on fire. Mm-hmm. He's just seeing glimpses because obviously he's being fucked with. He's only got a few moments left to get rid of this demon. So he decides what better way to do it than to kill a drug lord and in front of another drug lord, and he'll take over demonic possession.
He's basically looking rid of it, but with people who deserve it.
But if things go wrong, when the gunfight goes off, and he accidentally kills the guy who was supposed to take over, and then he didn't realize there was a witness the whole time, guy who wants to buy some drugs, that's Lewis, he's the one who's going to pass it on to our girl. But this whole opening sequence, it's a horror film, but you don't really think of it as a horror film. It's something I remember from Narc, from Joe Carnahan's film with Ray Liotta.
Oh, yes.
Or the remake of Assault on Precinct 13 with Ethan Hawke, where I think I'm watching a cop film.
A gritty cop thriller. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going like French Connection or something. He's going in there and he's taking out the bad guys, and he's panicking. And the other bad guys are coming in. It's like, wow, this is a great little action film.
She hits a Tarantino. Yep.
Yeah, little Tarantino. And then it just, boom, he gets hit by that car. Scared the fuck out of me.
And you see, and it's brutal because you see, like, he gets completely mashed, and you see, like, his severed foot and all sorts.
Yeah, you see his guts, and then you see his body underneath the truck. And then it looks like a grin.
Mm-hmm.
And what an incredible opening. I'm not we're not going to do it justice, but long story short, we just need to know how Lewis gets, obviously, the Smile Demon guy. And I thought they were going to do this because the film has a lot of flashbacks with her in a car accident with Paul, her boyfriend at the time. And I thought that was the car that hit Joel.
Right. Yeah, no, I didn't pick up on that. I mean, it's not, but I didn't.
I know it. You find out pretty quick it's not. Yeah. But that's what I was thinking when they talked about in the car accident she was in.
And her boyfriend is also, in flashbacks, is played by the son of Jack Nicholson.
Yes. Yep. I said that when I read off his name.
Yeah.
The director says, "Oh, it's just a coincidence she showed up." Oh, bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that smile he has is so Jack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Then you get the smile credits. What a great intro. And it sucks because Joel, I like the character of Joel and Smile.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah. He was the best character in it and the most likable character.
It was.
Yeah.
But what an intro. I mean, what a fucking intro.
Yeah. It is pretty, it sort of sets a tone. So it does. It's like, we're not fucking about here. We're this is like sort of, balls to the wall stuff coming up. Yeah, it sets it up very well.
There's a nice shot when we're introduced to Sky, and she's on the Drew Barrymore show.
What is it with Drew Barrymore popping up in all these films as herself? She was in that stupid Christmas one we watched.
That's your favorite film. You said that was your favorite film. Yeah. a Christmas in Scotland, whatever it was. A Castle for Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Yeah.
You said that was your favorite film.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like The Wicker Man. So it was.
Wicker
Man meets Four Weddings and a Funeral.
A Castle for Christmas is better than Wicker Man.
Was it? Fuck.
100 times better.
I could make a film now on my phone with me and you. It would be better than Castle for Christmas.
Intriguing. Better acting.
Yeah.
Better scenery.
Yeah.
Not batshit crazy. Yeah, so we introduce this guy. There's a scene where she's being interviewed, and the camera's at a distance, and we are panning in slowly as we get closer to her face, and she's kind of confessing what has happened to her in the past year, the death of her boyfriend, and she starts, first of all, I want to start to apologize to everyone for my addictions, putting what I put people through, my family through, my fans through. I promise you this won't happen again. And it was a kind of a nice way of foreshadowing that, where we're telling the audience, by the way the camera comes in close on her as she's confessing this, it's letting the audience know she's fucked. And those are the kind of shots he gave us to smile. And so that's where Parker Finn shines. He knows where to place the camera. And what hurt about Smile is the stupid jump scares with the fucking cat and shit like that.
Well, this is the thing here. There are jump scares here, but they're
used for a reason.
And yes, they add to they're part of the plot and they work here. Whereas before, they were just like thrown in for good measure type thing. In the previous one, here, they work and they actually have a point and they're effective.
Yeah. No, I mean, they are. The whole point of a jump scare, it has to be relevant to the story.
Yes, totally.
Not, the kettle's boiling. Oh my God.
Yeah, like fake out scares. Yeah.
Fake outs. Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah.
And I do like my fake outs, don't get me wrong. There's a good time and place for them. But when you utilize it, when it becomes a crutch, then it kind of
it becomes pointless.
Yeah, exactly. So she goes to get the painkillers from Lewis. Now Lewis, obviously, is the guy we met in the beginning, so he's gonna end his life in front of her. And holy shit, when he gets a dumbbell with a smile on his face, and he's just not a dumbbell, but a weight of some sort.
Yeah,
and he's doing what Longlegs did pretty much to himself.
Yes,
on the table.
Yeah.
Just pounding in his face. It is so cool and so creepy. And the way she sells it as she's watching this is awesome.
Yeah. And then, because of course that's her incriminated, she runs from the scene and actually she vomits, first of all, because it's so, horrific what happens. And the first thing went through my head was she's left her DNA through the vomit. But to be fair, it's saying she does Google that on her phone later on, or shortly after. So there is attention to detail here, which I appreciate.
Yeah, because the minute she did that, I was like, well, she's going to be part of that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's part of the crime scene. But again, this takes place within 7 days.
Yeah.
So
I would say, as a minor niggle, it's never really followed up that she was part of the crime scene. It's mentioned a couple of times, but for dramatic purposes, I think they could have made life even worse for her by having the police find out that she was at the scene.
No, because I think that would be too much then.
Maybe it was done and it's been edited out. I don't know.
No,
but they do sort of set it up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we don't need to. I mean, he's a drug dealer. It's been 7 days. They might not found him. By the time they find the puke, research it, DNA it, whatever. They wouldn't get anything back right away.
Know that. But they do plant the seeds. And so there's no real fault.
Well, they
to
planned
it.
it because she's researching it, and then you've got Morris who contacts her by text.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they do follow up with it somewhat.
Yeah. But I think it would have definitely added more to the tension if they would have had the police after her.
No, you've got so much going on here. You can't. Come on. I mean, your head will implode. We talked about that with Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is how they could have cut some of these dramatic moments out of the film and focus on these stories instead. You start piling on all these things, then it just becomes roll your eyes.
I think there's a good chance there were scenes filmed of it, but they've been trimmed because it is quite a long film anyway.
Now, the first 40 minutes of the film, we'll jump through the first 40 minutes because this is a lot longer than I thought because of Trevor's rant about Oscars.
Oh, you loved that selfie they all did together that time a few years ago, Ellen and all.
You know, it's funny. Anyone in that selfie is their career hasn't done anything.
yeah. Oh, just pure cringe.
Now, the first 40 minutes of the film is, I talked about it in the beginning, is really the focus on the day in the life of this singer and she's pulled in different directions. She's got the dance class. She's got to do the fancy dress. She's got to do the autographs. She's got to do press, dress rehearsals, all these things. At the same time, she's dealing with guilt. She's dealing with withdrawal. I don't think she's actually going through withdrawal. I think she's just dealing with the guilt.
The reason,
I think,
the reason she's actually she's well over the withdrawal. The reason she went to that guy to get the drugs was for basically heavy duty painkillers because after the accident, her back's still screwed. She's a bad back. And she's scarred.
Yeah, well, she mentions that. She goes, I'm only going to you because the doctors won't give me anything but Tylenol because of my addiction problem.
Yeah.
So she wants some Vicodin. And that's a nice little, they put that in there too.
And that's
what I'm saying.
very...
She's not, I didn't mean withdrawal. She's not addicted anymore.
Yes, exactly. But that's also true. If you do have a history of addiction, the doctors will not prescribe you things like diazepam or anything that is an addictive drug, even if it's prescription.
So when she goes to the autograph signing and you meet that freaky's guy with the skin rash.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you see him again and she sees his clothes that he was wearing.
With the skid marks on his boxer shorts and all. It's fucking gross.
Yeah. And then you see him at the end in the dark, pretty much shaded, but he's naked.
Yeah.
And he's just smiling at her.
Yeah.
So I kind of forgot. The smile monster can be anybody wants her to see, but that person doesn't have to be dead.
He's not really there in her apartment.
All right, that's just something.
Yeah,
that's just an image. That's a bad image to her. That's why Smile Man makes that image known to her.
He was probably there at the meet and greet thing and being Mr. Creepy McCreeperson, but because it's sort of like lodged in her head and freaked her out, that's the smile entity. Playing with her head, playing with her mind.
Okay. I thought, for some reason, I thought the smile had to take over the body or something. I don't know. But okay.
No. It's more like a mental thing where it can cause hallucinations and all sorts, I think.
One of the best rug pulls of the film is Gemma.
Yes. That's a big twist.
That is a nice twist. Spoiler alert, people. Because when she leaves the message, hey, I miss you. Can you come talk to me? Blah, blah. I apologize. And then when all the shit hits the fan and Gemma's still with her, she gets a phone call from the real Gemma. Hey, I'm sorry. I just got your message. And she's in the car with her. It's a great fucking misdirect. I had no clue. But they do plant the seed when Gemma's in the apartment and the mother doesn't see her when the mother comes to get her.
Yes.
But the mother doesn't see Gemma.
Uh-huh.
Or acknowledges her, which you would because she kept telling her to reach out to Gemma. So it was a wonderful misdirect. Didn't see it coming.
It's one of those things that you'll notice more on rewatch the more you watch it. Like films like, The Sixth Sense and stuff. You notice these things obviously a lot more whenever you're rewatching them. Yeah, it's a very good twist, but there's another. We'll get to the end where it sort of pulls the rug. Basically on everything that we've just seen, and it can be interpreted in a couple of ways at least.
Yeah, it's one of those things, can it be open to your own interpretation kind of thing?
Yes.
I don't think it does.
I think there's
I
two
think there is
interpretations.
an answer. I think there is an answer.
Okay.
And that's right, people. Ciaran will let you know.
And if you don't agree, phone the CitizenFrame hotline and complain.
It's 555 something something something.
976 evil.
Yeah, I like how the fact this demon is just fucking with her. Like when Joshua comes out of her room with a big grin, we know that's not Joshua. We know that's demon monster. And then she goes in his room. Her room is trashed, and she has a fucking goes ape shit at him. But it wasn't him because it was obviously demon monster man.
Yeah.
And the mom asks, "Are you using?" And it's just playing on her paranoia now, and it's playing on her everything in her mind. She's. I almost would like to see more of a happy ending because I would like to see how they were going to get out of this.
But there is a sort of
Because
happy ending, but we'll get to it. But, my interpretation of it anyway. Do you know what scene is really well done? The scene where all of the, although it's not really happening, it's in her head, but all of the dancers, really well choreographed, are coming at her, like in this real jerky manner.
Yeah.
Brilliant scene.
Yeah.
Really sort of well put together.
It's creepy.
Yes.
And it's not over the top. But that is the scene I was about to talk to you about. That is the scene where the minute that scene happens and it cuts away, she's in the hospital room.
Yeah.
Everything's fake. That scene where the dancers were coming at her with the big grins, one of the dancers puts his fist down her throat.
Yes.
And that is them fully. That is the demon, the smile monster man, taking over full control. She is no longer gain control.
Yeah.
Everything she's doing is the monster.
He's totally taking control of her head, basically, her mind.
Yeah, everything you see, the hospital, the cut leg, Gemma in the car, and the Morris sequence, which didn't make any sense to me at all. And where I'm gonna kill you, and then if it doesn't have the host after you die, it will die, and I'll wake you back up. And he just disappears out of the scene. And then even the demon tells her, "I'm in complete control.
Well,
you have no control anymore."
I get that, what you're saying, but the first time I watched this, my first thoughts after watching it, I have a completely different interpretation of it. That while there is a lot of sort of playing around with reality, from the hospital onwards, the way I sort of see it, and still sort of do, but again, I'm open to other theories. And that's what's great about it, another thing that's great about it. But one interpretation that I really like, and I'm leaning more towards, is that from the hospital's real, she's in the hospital, right? And she does kill the mother, possibly. And yes, there's a lot of playing around with what's real and what's not. But I like the thought of her actually being put under by Morris, and the whole finale at the concert and stuff, where she sticks the microphone in their eye, basically, after we see the class-looking monster. I like the thought of that being her dream while she's sort of in limbo after being it's basically flatliners. He stops her heart, and she's in a sort of limbo world. I like the thought of her basically stopping the smile demon once and for all by sacrificing herself while in this limbo dream sort of realm, which she sees as a concert. And that to me is more the happy ending, but it's also for her character, the full arc where she sacrifices herself, a self-sacrifice for the greater good. She becomes the hero because she's a really dark past, full of guilt, done a lot of bad stuff. But I like the thought of her redeeming herself completely by putting an end to the smile demon once and for all by self-sacrifice.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not a bad way to go. It seems to me, though, that's something the Hollywood team would do if they want to do Smile 3.
Well, Smile 3 is sort of set up more with the other interpretation, which is that she's infected the concert goers.
The problem with the ending of Smile, this movie, if you ended the way I saw it, where the demon takes fully control, and she sacrifices herself. She sacrifices in front of everybody. And thousands and thousands of people are watching her die. That means thousands and thousands of people are going to have a smile.
Which is pretty cool, actually.
But how do you write that?
It would have to be some sort of over-the-top
They would have
end
to
of the world
cop
thing.
out. They would have to cop out now and go to your ending.
Yeah.
in order for them to do a sequel.
I do think the one that I first talked about, my ending that you called it, is a proper character arc in a classic storytelling sort of way for her, for the Naomi Scott character. And I sort of do like that. How she's redeemed herself.
I think then the film cheats itself then. Because if you're going to go that route, and I'm fine with that route, nice little, that would be a twist within a twist.
Yes.
And what they should have done then, after she kills herself on stage, and the fans are like, ooh, and then we're all like, oh my God, the fans are all going to get Smiley Monster Guy. And then it cuts to Smile 2, and then it cuts back up, and she's lying dead, and it has Morris trying to resuscitate her.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would have been a better, at least we knew what happened. Oh, she actually sacrificed herself. That's the demon dying.
But it's intentionally left ambiguous.
No, that's not the way to do it. Because if you do that now, and you don't, if you're not going to stick with my ending, where the people are taking over, Smiley Monster Man, then you're going to cop out because you're doing it Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers. Oh no, she was dead the whole time. You didn't really even show it to you. You know, it's a cheat.
I know what you're saying.
You're going to ruin your ending then, because they're going to do a Smile 3. That's going to happen.
Yes, and that's the problem.
That's the problem. Because then your ending is a cheat.
Yeah, I would. Yes, I know what you're saying, and I take it on board. But I would be more than happy if they just stopped here at Smile 2 and left it open to interpretation, because I think it would be, for the start, it'd be really hard to follow this due to its high quality. But yes, I know what you're saying. But also, the people at the pub concert in my ending aren't real anyway. They're just part of her dream in this limbo state. But yes, with your ending, it's the other ending. It's more where that everything, it's like a fake happy ending where actually all the stuff with her mother and all her mother survived, blah, blah, blah. They're at the concert. But then she becomes infected just like all the other ones. It's like at the end of the cycle, and she then infects like the thousands, hundreds of thousands that are watching the concert. I think they're hedging their bets. I think, and basically, I don't think Scream 3 has been fully explored yet, or I'm sure they have ideas, but I think they're playing it safe for themselves so that they're leaving themselves open for multiple routes to go down.
Scream 3?
No, sorry, if I did, I meant Smile 3. Yeah.
Wow, I apologize, guys. That's embarrassing. That's an embarrassment.
That was a verbal typo. Yeah. I meant Smile 3, obviously.
But, yeah, I don't know. And if they do go back to your silly one where she dies, self-sacrifice, they need to bring her back where she does die, and then it cuts to the next one, like they did with Paul bleeding off in the second one. Joel, he's still alive, the cop. And then he introduces us in the second one. Then what you could do if they do a third one, then it opens up with Morris defibrillating her and bringing her back up to life, where she does survive. She killed the demon. That was the demon killing itself, not her. And
that would be
you're
stupid.
Right. It was. That would be a cheat. That would have to be the only way you do it.
But yes, I know what you're saying. But that would also completely remove her self-sacrifice. It would render it pointless. It would be like, oh, sure, we'll just keep her alive anyway, just for a laugh.
You'd still kill her off.
Nah, but no, the power and the journey of her self-sacrifice.
The power.
I'm serious. Of her self-sacrifice would be rendered pointless. It'd be like bringing back Emperor Palpatine in those recent Star Wars films after him being killed off in such a great way in Return of the Jedi. You know what I mean? But who knows? And to be honest, I don't think they should make a Smile 3. But they probably will, let's be honest.
They will.
Yeah.
They will.
Yeah. Let's be realistic here. But
I can't complain.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't a fan of the first one. And this film totally turned me around.
This surprised me. I was very surprised. In the best possible way.
If you bring back the original core members who produced and wrote this and directed, like Parker Finn and the gang, then you have me. I'd go to the theater and see it. Because I'm curious how they're going to do it. But guys, if you're going to do it, you better cast somebody like Naomi Scott, because she's your savior. That girl was fucking brilliant.
Yeah. And like you said at the start of this podcast, her horror is usually shunned from awards anyway. You had Toni Collette shunned for Hereditary, who was fantastic in Hereditary. Naomi Scott is, this is brilliant stuff, mind blowing performance. She is 100% one to watch in the future and then some. Yeah. But on top of that, brilliant script, brilliant storytelling, some great scares and gore, and also a cool monster at the end. What more do you want? Best film of the year so far for me.
There you go. Pleasant surprise for Smile 2, the one we didn't want to do. But there you go.
Yep.
All right, guys, listen, we're going to wrap this one up, and we do appreciate it. If you want to give us a shout at CitizenFrame_podcast on Instagram and, of course, Facebook. The next one up will be Wishmaster, Make Your Wish.
Yeah.
With the screenwriter of Wishmaster, Pete Atkins. That should be a fun one. And then we were supposed to have a little break, but no, we got to jump into Christmas month because Trevor insisted on Hallmark's A Christmas at Dollywood.
By the way, guys, do you know Ciaran watches these films, these Hallmark type films for fun and not actually because he has to for the podcast? He actually watches them for his own entertainment. He likes them.
No.
Yeah.
That's a lie. That is a lie.
Well, that's not.
Well, you called me. I remember I said, listen, I think we finally need to get to Batman Returns, the Penguin. And you said, and I quote, I fucking hate that piece of shit.
Right.
I fucking hate Tim Burton. I fucking hate Batman. I can't stand Christopher Walken. And then you said, I want Dollywood. I love Dolly Parton. Yeah. That's what you said. That's exact quote from quote.
It was more the opposite. So it was. But yeah, we're doing Christmas at Dolly Parton Land or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah, like you don't know. You got a soundtrack. And you sit there with your boots. And you're like, yeah, go sing.
The best about it, I actually like Dolly Parton. But the sounds of Dolly Parton in a Hallmark movie sounds like my worst nightmares come true.
Well, she's got 4 of them, so.
4 of them? What? Oh, I'm not doing 4. There's no way. Yeah.
You got the box set, that's why.
I would rather be infected by the smile demon than not to do that.
Actually, you'd probably be like, oh, this is fucking cool.
Yeah. Right.
Man, this is awesome. It's very Lovecraftian.
Yeah, it might well be, but for all the wrong reasons. Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll chat soon.